This exhibit is comprised of the documentation that was provided May 22nd when we submitted the initial application. Included within that, as mentioned previously, is the zoning permit application, the conditional use land development application, the grading permit application, a site location map, the deeds for the various parcels of property. There's 3 parcels of property that were purchased for this project. One being the Cybus Ranch, the next being the Jersis, and the last being Imperial Land Corporation. There was a highway occupancy permit for a minimum use driveway supplied. Copies of canceled checks for the various application fees. And then also a letter to the township indicating compliance with section 336 of the zoning ordinance. In addition, there was a preparedness, prevention, and contingency plan, PPC plan. There was a set of plans for the overall development. It's the same as the set there in front on the board. It included cover sheet, existing conditions plan, 4 sheets that were the Robinson Tract Plan number 1, a site plan, an overall E&S plan, with and without aerial, a 4 sheets or 5 sheets of E&S, more detailed E&S plans, various E&S details, a stormwater plan, stormwater details, recordable stormwater management plan, access road profile, pad sections, storm sewer profiles, a planting plan, a landscape plan, and photometric plan. There was an environmental, wetland and stream identification report provided, an E&S report, a post-construction stormwater management report, and site restoration report. That concludes exhibit number 1. Exhibit number 2 were 2 engineer review letters. The zoning review letter number 1 and the land development application review letter number 1. The zoning review was dated June 12th from Lennon Smith Stormwater Engineering, and the land development review was dated June 3rd, also from Lennon Smith. Exhibit 3 consists of a response letter to the engineer comments dated June 11th from Gateway Engineers, stormwater documentation, a highway occupancy permit for the stormwater or the storm sewer crossing Quicksilver Road, sound information, and that concludes exhibit number 3. Exhibit 4 were 2 more review letters from Lennon Smith Stormwater Engineering. The first being zoning review number 2, dated June 15th, and the second being land development application review number 2, also dated June 15th. Exhibit number 5 is a transmittal to the engineer in Township for revisions to the site plan for installation of a retaining wall. It included cover sheet, site plan, overall erosion and sedimentation control plan with and without aerial, and then detail blow-up view of the plan, an overall post-construction stormwater plan, and a detailed zoomed in view of the post-construction, and then wall design information. That concludes number 5. Number 6 was a land development application review number 3 from Lennon Smith Solar Array. It was dated June 16th, however, I think in a previous meeting it was mentioned that date should have been July 16th, possibly. So that's right. Exhibit number 7 is a copy of the subdivision plan that was submitted for this development. Exhibit number 8 is the review letter from Lennon Smith Solar Engineering dated July 10th for the subdivision plan. Exhibit number 9 was a response letter dated July 17th from Gateway Engineers and a revised copy of the subdivision plan. Number 10 was a review letter from Lennon Smith Solar Array dated July 20th for the subdivision plan. Exhibit number 11, there are 2 DEP, Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection, ESCGP permits. One for the original site. It was originally designed in the fall of last year, dated January 12th, and then a subsequent approval letter dated July 13th for the major modification, which is what's represented on the plan sheets before the board.
Mr. Bagley, before you go past that exhibit, what does an ESCGP do?
It's the permit required by the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection to ensure that all development and all design standards of the DEP are being followed. It's Chapter 102 of the Pennsylvania.
And that stands for Erosion and Sedimentation Control General Permit number 2.
Correct. That ends number 11. And then the last, Exhibit 12, is a highway occupancy permit for the driveway for the sediment basin that also is part of this plan. That was the last highway occupancy permit. And that ends.
Mr. Bagley, I'm going to hand you a copy of what I marked as Mark West Exhibit 13. Can you identify that for me?
That is my resume.
Okay, and it indicates on here, sir, that you have a BS in civil engineering that you obtained from Penn State in 1998. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you are a registered professional engineer in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, correct?
That is correct.
And that registration number is 062962, is that right?
That is correct.
And your resume also indicates that you're a registered professional engineer in West Virginia, Ohio, correct?
That is correct.
And just for the board's education, what kind of engineering projects have you worked on over your 17 years?
I've done numerous projects, many oil and gas, pipeline, compressor stations, meter sites, things of that nature. I've also worked a lot in municipal government, representing on the municipal side, representing various municipalities as an assistant role. I've worked on private land developments, whether it be a retail center, gas station, things of that nature. So I'm well versed in the requirements for meeting local and state codes for these types of developments.
And I know you've already said this, but so the record's clear, you're the engineer of record, outside engineer of record for this project, correct?
That is correct.
And in numerous points throughout those documents, Mark West 1 through 12, engineering seals are required. Your engineering seal appears in several of those documents, correct?
That is correct.
At this time, I'd like to move into the record Mark West exhibits 1 through 13.
That's fine. I don't think anybody out there would reasonably have an objection to those exhibits as they're all a matter of public record, so we'll admit them this time. And before we leave, I had one other document that I'm gonna add in, which would now be Township Exhibit I, and that is a letter July 2nd that I think Mr. McHale signed it, which was the letter that indicated that July 1 was the date that the application was completed. And we have that, and so we'll put that in as Exhibit I.